Tony Bateson, discoverer of the migraineband.com Migraine Exercises, was asked by Jake Lawton, a leading documentary filmmaker in Australia, to take part in a video interview there with popular media host Ross Gallagher. Tony explains how the exercises stop migraines and have been tested in an official clinical trial in the UK.
Hi guys, I'm Ross Gallagher and today I'm going to talk to you about a very special book. This is it here. It contains 700 years of medical research and the history of the Oxford area in the UK. Tony Bateson brought it in for us today to talk about. Personally, I think Tony should be in the book. So Tony, this is a fascinating book. Tell me why you should be in it.
Well, of course, we're really joking, aren't we? I mean, this is a fantastic book, and it's all about the very famous scientists and researchers of 400 years ago, the golden age in medicine, if you like. Well, I'm not a doctor or a medic or an academic, but I just happen to find a way of dealing with my own migraines, and I've done that successfully now for many years, and I do live in Oxford.
Well, that's terrific, but how does it work?
Well, it's a resonance method, a vibrational, it's a self-taught method. I came across it virtually by accident when I had a migraine attack when I was driving, and I hadn't any time to spare, and I got very, very cross with myself because I was going to be very late for a meeting, and I swore at myself in really bad language. And surprisingly, within about 3 or 4 minutes, the migraine had gone completely. And from then on, I worked on sort of trial and error to find out exactly what it was about this that had stopped the migraine, because I'd been having bad migraines for more than 5 years and full-on attacks and so on. So it worked, and I found a way of modifying it, simply trial and error, that then worked for other people.
Look, migraines are simply terrible. Is this treatment approved?
Well, it is halfway through a clinical trial with Oxford University, and it's the ethics committee of Oxford University. It's about as official as you can get. They've got a trial in hand, and we're halfway through it, and they've established that it works for 7 out of 8 people.
Wow.
So that's a remarkable number. I'm amazed.
And what else can you tell us about it?
Well, it's we have now tried quite separate from the clinical trial. We have trialled this with over 100 people,
right?
And we have found that it works and stops the migraine attack for nearly all of them, virtually all of them, 90%. It's close to what clinical trial is saying, about 7 out of 8. But furthermore, many have given up medication. Many, a large number, have had no further attacks at all, so
Terrific.
they don't even get the starting attack. So it's highly successful from that point of view.
Wonderful. So Tony, what else can you tell us about this remedy?
Well, there's one quite amazing thing, because in addition to the very high success rate that we've had, I had a phone call from a consultant surgeon in the north of England who had been under threat of losing her job. And her GP had contacted us in Oxford and said that she was an intractable patient. He tried almost all medications and nothing had worked for her. And she'd been told by the hospital she worked for that she was going to get sacked because she was having to cancel so many operations, surgical appointments. But she phoned a week or so after I'd explained it all to her GP, and her GP had seen her again. I had a phone call from her, and the first thing that she said was, "Do you know, Mr. Bateson, I've been able to walk my children to school again for the first time in over 2 years."
That's wonderful, isn't it?
And then, amazingly, she got her job back.
Wow.
Very quickly afterwards.
That's great.
So it was really satisfying, very rewarding, yeah. Yeah.
And an independent medical specialist verified it.
Absolutely, yep. Oh, and by the way, her GP was also a sufferer from migraine, and he hadn't told me at the time when he got in touch with me about his patient. And he said, incidentally, "You've stopped my migraines too. Thank you."
That's great.
So it was amazing.
Good news.
Yep.
Well, folks, there it is. This remedy could help up to 700 million people in the world who suffer from migraine. I really think Tony should be in that book. but I hope he doesn't have to wait 800 years. But you don't have to wait at all. You can go straight to migraineband.com and you can download the remedy and you can find out the science and the history behind this amazing discovery.